students. What the hell are they good for? They can't cook, they can't clean, and they piss away their student finances during Freshers' Week. Luckily, we're here to help. During the course of this series, we will give students the necessary skills that they need to succeed at university. Do they have what it takes to not just survive, but also to thrive? This is Student Survival. First up, let's meet our 3 student survival experts. This week, we're in sunny Birmingham, the UK's second city. Did you know that Birmingham is the official youngest city in Europe? Thanks to its 5 universities, under 25s make up 40% of the population. It's also home to a student in distress who needs our help. Let's go meet them, shall we?
Hi, my name is Pete, I'm 23 years old, I'm from Manchester originally, but I'm now studying media production at BCU.
Hello?
Hello, Pete. Are you ready to begin your student survival experience?
How do you know my name?
Don't worry about that.
Why have you just stormed in here?
Yeah, this will work. Right, time to kick off the show with lifestyle, but first, a quick fire survival kit.
So, you've just moved to a new city. It's overwhelming, right? How do you meet new people? Where are the best hangout spots? Well, don't worry, we've got you covered. It's so important to look after your mental well-being, especially in a new city where you don't know anyone. So, here are our top tips for getting yourself out there and making the most of your uni life. First up, social media can be your friend. Join a Freshers Facebook group in your city, or maybe 5 for all I care. Each city and your university will have lots of online groups you can join to meet new people. You can even start making connections before you move in. Speaking of moving into student halls can be very daunting, we know, but everyone is in the same boat, so try and reach out to your new flatmates. Feeling comfortable with the people that you're going to live with for the next 4 years can make your whole life experience a lot easier. But how can we talk about moving into uni without talking about Freshers' Week? Your university will be putting on loads of events and welcome fairs in the first few weeks, so try to attend as many as you can. There's such a great opportunity to meet new people and find out about what's going on in your city and your uni. Finally, societies. We can't talk about uni without societies. Societies are a great way to meet like-minded people and take part in some of your new and most favourite hobbies. Hell, you might join a society where you don't know anyone and anything about it, so go on, try something new.
Hi there, I'm Siobhan. This is Pete, our survival participant for the day. He did consent before you ask. And we're going to go over his budget. So, Pete, you got a student loan coming in. How do you feel about your expenses and budget and planning?
Bit personal, but not really thought about it. Kinda new to this, innit?
You desperately need that help then, don't you? So, this is your My Student Budget Planner, okay? So your step 1 is your monthly incomes, your job, your student loan, whatever. So, that comes out to a total here, and then next up you have your essential outgoings, your rent, your food, your bills, and then at the end, your additional outgoings is, your whatever else you have outgoing.
Yeah, the non-essential stuff's probably like Netflix, gigs,
Ooh.
go to a few gigs, Uber as well, I'm lazy.
Do you go anywhere else? Do you go out? Anything?
No, I'm pretty lonely.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I've got to be honest about it, ain't you, mate?
Yeah, I guess, but I thought you'd maybe lie a bit to me. How
I
many
said I'm a bit lonely, that was lying. I'm actually really lonely.
You did say you'd like music, so I think I have a good place for you to go. If you want to go, would you be happy?
I'm down to take the recommendation. It's the least I can do after all this.
Pick from one of these 4 options. Please pick wisely.
Third one?
When was number 1?
Oh,
I thought you'd choose number 1.
why? I don't know the place.
The once gritty Digbeth is now a developing Bohemian district, known for its street art, its live music, and food from all across the world. It's a truly creative crowd here, so it's a perfect spot for students. And that is glorious Digbeth. It's got the golf, it's got the food, it's got the live music, it's everything Pete could want. Now, let's meet our food expert Meg, see what she's got in the kitchen.
Maintaining a healthy, balanced diet is incredibly important. Eating properly can massively help with your energy levels, your mood, and your ability to focus. If you're moving out for the first time, you might not have had to properly cook for yourself, or even do a weekly food shop. Knowing how to budget, where to buy food, what to cook and how, these are all things that many people are not taught before they move away. Food can lay the foundation for the rest of your life, and here at Student Survival, we want to give you helpful advice every week to make sure you have a stable ground to build from. Cooking for one can be really challenging. To avoid waste and to save time and money, try buying and cooking in bulk. You can then freeze the leftovers for the next time you don't feel like cooking. It's like making your own ready meals. Speaking of freezing, there is a surprising amount of food that can be frozen safely. You can freeze many fresh fruits and vegetables, bread, milk, and even cheese. If you're on a budget, avoid buying the expensive branded products. 9 times out of 10, the store brand or Savour items are just as good. Sometimes they're even the same product in different packaging. Find your local supermarket and sign up for their free loyalty scheme. You can get discounts or earn points every time you shop. Make sure you always have some basic staples in the cupboard, like dried and canned foods such as pasta, rice, and chopped tomatoes. That way you can always cobble something together, even if you haven't done the food shop. And finally, even when you're buying food on a budget, some simple herbs and seasonings, which can be bought very affordably, can literally spice up any meal.
So Meg, what are we cooking this week?
Well, Drew, thank you very much for asking.
You're welcome.
So, this week we're going to be cooking one of my favourites. It's a one-pot meal, and you know how much I love one-pot meals. So, they're great. They save on the washing up, which makes them really student-friendly, and they're super easy. You just chuck everything in one pan, and it's pretty much good to go. So, we spoke to Pete before the show about some of his likes and dislikes in the kitchen, and I think I've picked something out that you're really going to like. So, this week we are making a chili con carne.
Oh, Fez. Yeah, I picked well before.
Yeah. It goes really well with like what you said you liked and all that kind of thing. So, how do you feel about chili con carne? Have you ever cooked it before?
I just want to see the master at work.
Okay, well, let's get started then. All of these ingredients can be bought really cheaply and affordably on a budget, and the best thing about this recipe is that you can buy the ingredients in bulk, cook it in bulk, and then just freeze it in little portions. And whenever you fancy chili con carne, you've just got to chuck it in the microwave, whip up some rice, and it's pretty much good to go. So, how are you feeling, Pete? You ready to go?
I'm ready to do some whipping.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so first things first, we're going to chop up some vegetables. This is a really great recipe because you can incorporate lots of healthy foods in there if you want to. I always like to use onion and garlic, and I also really like to add pepper. Some people like to add carrots, even mushrooms, kind of whatever you fancy, really. So, I'm going to get them started, and then hopefully I can rope this student into maybe chopping some veg. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, first things first, we're going to chop up a pepper. A lot of people cut out this part. What we're going to do is we're going to cut it this way.
Wow.
I know, revolutionary. You cut along the little ridges. And then,
Oh,
look at that.
wow.
Kind of does your job for you, doesn't it?
That's nice.
Don't even know why I'm here. Now we've got it at this point, we're just going to cut it up a little bit smaller, kind of however you like, really. Nice little hack for you there, Pete, because I know you're really, really interested in this.
What? Why have you just been really mean?
It just helps this part get off a little bit easier, apparently.
Yeah, very nicely done. That's like taking a coat off.
Thank you. So now that we've diced up some garlic, we're gonna add that in as well. And finally, we're gonna be chopping up the onion, which is my least favorite thing to do. I will cry, so get ready
Brace
for that,
yourselves.
everyone.
Why are you gonna cry?
You never chopped an onion before, Pete?
What do you think?
So this is the way I would recommend doing it. It's one of the first ways that you kind of get taught how to do it. Chop it in half, little cuts this way, and then along this way.
It's a good thing to know. Onions.
I put onions in literally everything, onions and garlic. Even if they're not required, I usually add them anyway, especially if it's like a sauce or anything like that. Onions and garlic make a big difference. Okay, now that I'm all emotional from that onion, we're gonna add that into everything else that we've chopped up so far.
Just an onion.
It is just an onion, but it just was really hard to do that to a friend, you know?
We all have our things to face.
So that's all of our ingredients all chopped up there, ready to go. So that is literally the hardest part of this recipe. And as you can see, it really got to me. But it's
okay.
It's plain sailing from here on out. So it's all good, guys. So now we're just gonna cook up our mince with all of our veg and then add the rest of our ingredients. So let's move on over to the hob. Okay, so let's get started with the cooking. We're moving over to the hob now. We've got everything ready in the pan, and I find it easier to just kind of chuck it all in there together. So we're gonna be adding our beef mince, and we've got all of our veg already in there, and we're just gonna add some oil and get this cooking. So we just want to get the veg softening a little bit, and then we're going to add in the mince. Nice. So as you can see, the beef is getting nice and brown there, and we're just going to keep cooking that until it's cooked all the way through, and the veg is getting nice and soft, and then we'll work on the sauce. So now that that is all nice and ready, we're going to now turn down the heat and work on the sauce. So, very, very straightforward. We are just going to be adding some lovely chopped tomatoes and some tomato puree. And this tomato puree depends completely on your taste. I usually like to add quite a lot, so I like it nice and tomatoey, but it's completely up to you. So we will add our chopped tomatoes. And give that a nice little mix. And we will add some tomato puree, depending on how much you fancy. So I like it nice and tomatoey, but what do you think? How do you feel?
Yeah,
Cool.
I'd say go for it.
Nice.
Why do you put chopped tomatoes and tomato puree in it?
It just makes it a richer flavour, nice and tomatoey, and it just, honestly, it makes it taste less like it's just a jar of chopped tomatoes.
Fair enough.
Okay, so we're going to be resourceful. We're going to use this to make our stock. So all you need is an OXO cube and a bit of hot water. We're just going to mix that up and then add that in there for you. That'll add some really nice, beefy, rich flavour. And we'll just add some hot water. Just a little bit, we don't want it to be too watery. And we're just going to mix it up, make a nice little beefy concoction, and add that into our sauce. Oh, that's starting to smell really good.
Very, very nice. Love it.
And finally, before we're just going to leave that to cook and simmer down for a little bit, we're going to add some spices. So how spicy do you like your food?
A little bit of
Yeah?
kick to it, yeah.
So, I always like to add paprika. That adds some really, really nice flavour to a chilli. So we're going to add quite a lot of paprika. This won't add too much spice, it's just for some nice flavour. And you can use chili flakes or mild chili powder. I've got mild, but you can use hot, it's kind of whatever you fancy. We're going to use a fair amount of mild. And you can obviously keep tasting as you go. And this is really great because you can adapt it completely to how you like it, really. It doesn't have to be spicy at all. Some people don't like spicy chili. Some people would think it's disgusting to not have a really spicy chili. So it's completely up to you. Okay, that is starting to look, I would say, like a pretty good chili right now. Yeah? So, what I like to do is I like to leave that to cook for kind of as long as possible, like half an hour, 45 minutes, just to really get all those flavours incorporated and get it really nice, rich flavour. So, we're going to leave that for a little bit, and then I think, how do you feel about cooking us some rice? I think he can do it.
Yeah,
I think he can do it.
Really?
I've made you a beautiful chili there. We just need a little bit of rice. I think you can do it. I think you've got what it takes.
Sure, let's give it a go.
Perfect. So, I'm going to go take a sit down and I'm going to wait for my dinner.
Where's the rice?
I'll leave you to it.
Did you eat my sausage rolls?
Ooh.
Bon appetit.
That looks like
This
food.
looks great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Pete. Very excited to try this.
Thanks for the tips.
You're very welcome. Let's give it a go, shall we? That is a good chili.
Very nice.
It's very good. How do you feel about that?
For the first time making a chili, I'm pretty happy with that.
Nice. And to be fair, that rice is cooked perfectly. You've done very well.
I can do something.
Well done.
Thank you.
Tuck in, guys.
Wow! Thanks for that, Meg and Pete. That's filled me right up. But, as they say, if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. We're off to pimp up Pete's room. So I'm here to explore this bustling city, get some nice retail therapy.
Yeah.
This is your room, yeah?
Yeah.
I can tell that a student definitely lives in here. Yeah, there's not a lot going on. It's a bit dull.
Yeah, I did only just recently move.
Okay, that's fair.
But
I can
still.
tell that there's a lot of potential in this room. There's a lot we can do with it.
sick.
Yeah, we're just looking around. There's things we could put up. Do you like anything in particular? Any ideas that you want to, do for this room?
Just make it less dull. Like,
Could definitely do that.
try not to reflect my personality.
That's something that we could do. Well, lucky for you and everyone else at home, we've got some great advice. But I'm going to leave you to it, and I'll see you soon.
Sure.
One of my favourite parts of moving into student accommodation is decorating my new room. It's a really fun opportunity to create your own space exactly how you want it. It's very important because not only is it your bedroom, it's probably also your study space, so you need to make sure you feel comfortable there and able to focus. Keeping your space clean, tidy and organised can really help your mental well-being and your ability to be productive. There are loads of great places you can buy affordable furniture and decor such as TK Maxx, The Range and Home Bargains, and I would definitely recommend checking out your local charity shops. You can pick up some amazing finds to give your new room some character on a budget. A great way to organise your space cheap is by upcycling products you already have. Items like old packaging, jars, containers or even shoe boxes can be used to keep your belongings neat. With a bit of creativity, they can look really stylish and it can be a fun craft project, maybe even something you can do together with your new flatmates. It can be so easy to get tempted into spending a lot of money on your new room and it can add up very quickly. So to avoid blowing your new student loan before you've even moved in, start by just investing in some essentials. You can buy more things as and when you need them. And don't make the mistake as many other students buying loads of things you don't need and will never use. Decorating with small, inexpensive items like fairy lights, posters and fake plants can really brighten up your space and turn your new halls into a perfect home.
How do you think is going on in there?
I don't know, you were in there with him.
We saw his room earlier,
Yeah, it's disgraceful.
but we got to have faith in him, come on. I think it's time to check.
Moment of truth. Well, Pete, this is looking pretty nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really impressed, Pete. Like, you've taken on our advice really well, and especially on a budget, you've done extremely well. Like, you've gone above standards. You've got little bits of decor. You've taken the advice with like all your favourite things. me as an expert, like me out of all people would know how hard it can be decorating a home, and you've just gone and done it yourself. So I'm really proud of you. But yeah, how do you think that it went?
Thank you. A lot better than I thought it was going to go. Like, it seemed a bit hard, but credit due where it's due. The tips really helped.
Yeah.
Mainly from you, but...
Well, it's just, you know, this is Pete as a bedroom, you know. It's amazing.
Well, gotta leave you two to it.
I'm a human.
Yeah. And that's why it works, because this bedroom is human. Well, Pete, you've completed it, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, do you feel like you're simply surviving now, or are you thriving?
Thriving.
Brilliant. Yes, that's what this show's all about.
Can you leave?
Yeah, I will. Well, I think that was a success. Pete now knows how to budget, he's got places to go, and he can make some fucking good nosh. That's all in a day's work here on Student Survival.